Hey, welcome to our cool channel. We are M3 Movies on YouTube. We talk about movies and films and stuff.
Hello!
You're starting off.
Yeah, we're getting right into it.
You're starting off now.
We're going.
Welcome to M3 Movies. I'm Jack, and
I'm Lauren.
Brian is dead.
I killed him.
Thank God for that.
No, he's in Paris, like a douchebag. So instead of him being here, it's Lauren and Eric, who you two have been on together once.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare?
It was not. It was probably your worst podcast to date.
Oh,
Here,
no. No. We've done much worse.
My vivid memory of it is that many times throughout the podcast, you do sort of grab our attention away from
I really did.
the
Which
room
is
we were
actually
in.
why there's
like the laser pointer.
Oh my God, the laser pointer.
Imagine being 17 years old and behaving like a cat.
Well, that is exactly why there's a total of actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 5 things on here that we're going to be talking about.
Is that a lot or a little?
No, it's very little.
Very little.
I had to prepare.
That's probably smart on your part.
Yeah, Eric, you can sit on something. Eric is currently waddling around the floor. And really, I don't know what he's up to.
There are 2 cushions that you can rest your feet on, and he keeps rearranging them so that he can lie down on them in various
I'm putting
ways.
footrests next to each other and then lying down on top of both of
It's
them.
like he's playing musical chairs with himself.
And losing.
All right, let's just jump right on in.
Yeah.
I say that as if it hasn't already been 2 minutes. There might be spoilers, probably not.
Probably not. That's how little we'll discuss in this episode. No spoilers.
I imagine there's going to be a lot of tomfoolery.
But isn't that what makes us fun?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it. I'd say it's more of a burden.
It's what separates M3 Movies from the other normal podcasts.
It's
is that we're bad and don't
places
talk
M3
about the
Movies-
thing in the title.
It's what places this podcast below all others.
Yeah, if you're looking to find M3 Movies on Apple Podcasts, just scroll all the way to the bottom of your suggested.
Look up good
That's where we are.
podcasts.
That's like I forced you to watch Oh Hello with John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
Yeah.
And there's that line where when you get to the bottom of a tub of hummus, and you can't reach it with your carrots, so you use your fingies.
Yeah.
That's us, baby.
That's the material that you're listening to right now.
Yeah. So if you're listening on YouTube, absolutely die, because we're better than that now. We are on. Are you okay?
She has to use her fingies to get the Cheez-Its out of the mason jar she's eating them from.
Lauren decided to bring a mason jar full of
Okay.
Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom has stopped using sandwich, Ziploc bags.
You know there are reusable ones of those, right?
Yeah.
Or
But we don't have any right now.
or plastic.
So mason jars are where
Tupperwares
it's
or
at. Hey,
something?
hey,
Tupperware.
Hey.
She's explaining herself, and then you suggested Tupperware, and she stopped explaining herself and just said,
Okay.
"Hey."
I feel like this is really similar to a Tupperware.
It's not. Ooh, ASMR podcast.
In case you didn't believe that she was doing that,
Okay.
she just shook the Cheez-Its near the microphone so you could hear.
Or did I add a sound effect in post? I wouldn't do that. That's extra
Beyond
work on
your
my part.
abilities.
Yeah. So if you're listening on YouTube, absolutely die, because we are now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Breaker, Radio Public, and Overcast. You can find us on all of those by just looking up our names. Use your heads. Or you can go to all of those places by going to anchor.unbelievable. In case you need further evidence that this is the least professional podcast in history, Eric is now standing and coughing like a loser. What is wrong with you? Are you okay?
We have not gotten to one topic.
Terrible idea to do a podcast when I'm sick.
Yeah, why are you sick? What is the deal?
I just need to get it out.
Okay. Alright. Here we even see it. I don't know if any of this is actually even going to pick up at all. Wow. Boy, that's annoying. Anyway, you can find us anywhere at anchor.fm. Would you not talk while I'm trying to promote my podcast? Jack Hanton, 2019. Don't touch my phone. We're fine. Anyway, you can find us at all of those places. Anchor.fm/M3movies. And you go to places. Let me see if I can. Anchor.fm/M3movies. I'm going to guide the people how to get there. It's loading.
After all, you don't know it. You don't know how to get there yourself, so you have to pull it up real quick.
Quick question.
Yeah,
if you need to guide them, I mean, they're already listening to the podcast.
On YouTube, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how people listen. What do you think I do? Track that stuff? No.
Why don't you?
What do you think I do? Track that stuff.
So, yeah, you can literally go to anchor.fm/M3movies, and the first thing you see is more places to listen. Click on any of those, and don't be a loser, and listen there. Listen to us on Spotify. Don't be a loser.
Why is it bad that they're listening on YouTube?
Because we don't make money off of it. Yeah. And also, like, why would you listen to a podcast on YouTube?
Good point. Fair point.
Right? Thank you.
Bitch move.
Jesus. So...
This is a holy podcast. There's no cussing.
A comical lie.
Hey, flashback.
Flashback to, was it me?
To Eric's, it was your second episode here, right?
With Brian.
Yeah.
It was just me and Brian. And
where Brian said, hey, don't say any bad words, and you immediately leaned into the microphone.
And I was like, fuck,
Please,
fuck,
come
fuck.
on!
You don't censor it.
I don't!
Every episode I've listened to has...
What, all two? Let's,
Well, I listened to one with Aiden that had lots and lots of bleeping.
It did. Let's go to our first segment, which Brian will be mad at me for not calling Argy Mateys.
No, can we please? That's my favorite.
No.
I'm going to actually announce.
No! Don't! Let's go to...
Can you at least explain so Lauren gets to hear it?
Oh, God. You do this wonderful thing where... I'll start... You don't say anything, and then I'll start to speak, and you'll start to speak, too.
Like, every moment that is a good moment for you to talk, you ignore, and then the one moment you shouldn't talk, you're like...
Is this the thing that you've noticed, like...
Yes.
Just being friends
so it's
with
not
me?
just me.
What?
It's just an Eric Becker
Why has
thing.
nobody told me this?
Holy God, we're already like 7 minutes in.
How long does this...
Normally, like, the intro is 2 minutes.
Max.
Sure. So, hey, that's my cat's name. So let's go on to the first segment. We pull you on a celebrity you would be interested in hearing us talking about, and whoever wins said poll becomes the subject of discussion. Go, Jim.
Argy Mateys.
No.
Look, that's the jingle.
You gotta clap louder.
No, I... Stop. Fuck.
I'm keeping it in. We like the work of these certain celebrities, and so we're gonna appreciate them and what they've done.
Remember that same... Oh my God!
Eric, I'm gonna...
Oh my God. You need to, like, leave. You need to not be in this podcast anymore.
Eric, I'm gonna ask a favor of you. Would you let me host my own goddamn podcast?
Eric just has a lot to say.
He does, like an idiot.
I feel like every time we start
Just
talking at the
starts
same time.
This is going
It's not like I
poorly.
interrupted you.
So, I was a doof and kind of forgot that we were recording today, although this is technically Brian's job to poll on the Instagram, so I'm going to blame him for that one.
Who cares?
He can die.
Okay.
So, I don't have anyone to talk about, so instead I'm going to ask you two if there's an actor or actress or director or something that you really appreciate that you would like to talk about on this here podcast.
Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig. Let's
It's
talk
both.
about Greta Gerwig.
So...
I
What
love
a
dogs.
vile sound.
Don't talk about your voice like that.
You can talk about I Love Dogs and,
Something recently.
Lady Bird.
What? She was in Lady Bird?
No, she directed
No, yeah, I
it,
know.
you fool.
He was saying because you said both earlier.
Yeah. What else has she been in? Mindy Project.
Something else. I was just talking.
Oh, she was in Portlandia? I love that show.
Clearly not enough to know that Greta Gerwig was in it.
Boy.
Would either of you like a Cheez-It?
No, I'm good. My hands are too big to fit in that. Because I'm a full-grown human.
Is she trying to talk to me right now?
Ewick? Ewick,
I'm
would you
trying
like
to
a
offer you a
cheese
Cheez-It, but you don't get one now.
Okay. I guess
in
my
Jackie.
privilege has been revoked.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen frequently?
What?
Where you both are just on your phones?
No.
You were okay. You're like,
looking
what are you talking about?
I'm on IMDb looking at Greta Gerwig.
Information to talk about.
What do you mean? You brought it up.
I talked about Greta Gerwig. Stop. In my IB film stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we had to do like, if you were in HL, you had to make a really long movie, and then you had to write a really long essay about the really long movie.
Really long.
And you had to talk about your inspiration.
It's like 9 minutes.
And seven.
Oh.
And
Sorry.
I talked about Greta Gerwig
Really
as my
long.
inspiration.
Yeah.
It is becoming clear to me that I really just have no idea what she looks like. Like I'm looking
Nor
through...
I don't either.
Well, I don't even know. I'm looking at a ton of pictures of her right now, but
Wait, so you're
if
looking
you
at
asked
photos
me
of her
to-
and you can't
If you asked me to like pick out Greta Gerwig, I would not be able to. I don't know why.
Let me
Wait,
see.
so you're seeing photos where only one thing is common,
Yes.
and that's her face, and you
I
just can't tell
I
which
can't
person
tell.
is her in the photos.
Well, no, I can tell which that's David Tennant and Michael Sheen, but
Can I see?
it's like every picture of her is
She's
different.
really pretty.
Sure.
Sure. Can I see?
It was an advertisement for the Amazon original Creative Galaxy.
It's a very stupid.
That's her. Silence. Silence.
I want to scroll through more
Okay.
pictures so I can.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I gotta be honest. I wasn't huge on Lady Bird, but that's also because it wasn't necessarily like a movie that I could relate to.
She reminds me of
He's just having his own conversation with himself.
It's because you're showing me pictures right now.
I
You're
like Lady Bird. You know what else we could talk about?
Wah.
I don't know why, but usually when I think of Lady Bird, I think of 8th grade. They're not like
They're-
super similar,
Well,
but they're
they're
kind
kind
of
of
like.
the same.
They're
Sort of
just
like
different
coming
stages of
coming
life.
of age,
They
but
also-
still like in
they-
different settings and different.
They came out around the same time of year too,
Yeah.
and it's rare
I-
that you see a coming of age movie centered around a female protagonist and following those issues. So, why are you laughing at that?
What?
You're like chuckling to yourself.
What are you talking about?
Was that not
You
a
were
chuckle?
chuckling.
Yeah.
That was a chuckle.
Yes.
Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on.
Can we restart this podcast? I feel like this entire podcast has just been you criticizing the way I act.
Well, it's because
Okay, so 8th grade.
yeah.
I was really, really excited for that movie, and then I saw it, and I was like, okay. Like, it's a good movie, but
Yeah.
I was also, like,
Kind of underwhelmed.
hyped it up in my
Yeah,
head, you know,
yeah.
because I was so excited for it.
Well, it was getting a lot of talk.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of talk.
I think I really appreciate it because I feel like it's fairly accurate to what an 8th grader could go through.
She wasn't in 8th grade.
Yes, she was.
In Lady Bird?
Obviously, talking about the movie 8th grade.
I didn't pay attention to you. I'm so sorry.
I feel like the reason I liked it the most is because I felt like it was fairly accurate to what people could go through, and even the parts that seemed like if you look past the parts that look kind of like over exaggerated, because you have to over exaggerate some things for movie telling's sake or whatever.
Yeah.
The parts where it's just like this is her everyday life, I was like, yeah, like being super argumentative with parents and like.
Yeah.
Throwing fits and stuff just because you're trying to be more mature and that's what you think being mature is.
Yeah.
Or like when she's in her room on her phone and her dad like comes in to like say goodnight and she's like, okay, and she goes back on her phone immediately. She like shoos him away.
Yeah.
I still have yet to see that movie.
I think it's on Amazon Prime for free.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. I'll check it out then, probably.
Lady Bird, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
I have not seen Lady Bird.
Okay, well, the thing is, I really love indie movies. I was
Yeah.
going to use a different phrase, but then I was like, I really like indie movies because I'm a quirky teenage girl.
Indian movies.
Indie.
Indian.
You're like correcting it. The word is Indian, Lauren.
So yeah, like A24.
I wasn't huge on Lady Bird, but like I can understand why someone would enjoy it, if that makes sense.
I feel like it was very, like, I enjoyed it specifically because I am a 17-year-old girl.
Right. Well, yeah, and that was another big thing for me, but it just wasn't my...
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the target demographic there.
So I was, like, watching her and, like, her mom argue, and I was like...
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that hurts.
Reminds me of that time that I was fighting with my mom and I jumped out of the car.
You did that?
No, that's a Stephen Lady.
No, I know. Anything else, Becca to Gerwig? Have you guys seen I Love Dogs?
Yes.
I love that movie. She was the
Phenomenal.
human girl that had a crush on the boy guy. Human boy.
One of those words was sufficient.
I liked I Love Dogs.
I loved it.
Really
It was
wanted
so
it
good.
the whole year, because it came out pretty early in, like, the movie year, you know what I mean?
February, I think, right?
Yeah, which is, like, really early.
Yeah.
So for, like, the majority of the year, I was like, I really want this to win Best Animation. Because I was
And
just
then
like...
Spider-Verse came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like, because it would be really cool, because it's, like, a different form of animation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, like, a different, just kind of, like, a different vibe than, like, other animated movies.
Right.
And then Spider-Verse came out, and I was like, but
oh,
this
okay.
is just, like, so beautiful.
Mhm.
And I was like, I know this is going to win, and I'm not even mad that it's going to win, but I wish that I Love Dogs was getting the recognition that it, like, deserved.
If it was another year and Into the Spider-Verse wasn't, like, redefining the animated film, then I think I Love Dogs would have had a very good chance of winning.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that it wasn't Incredibles 2, honestly.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I
Because
think...
then we,
yeah.
like, I want I Love Dogs to get the recognition it deserves because it's a different type of animated movie, but then also the Oscars sucked this year.
Horrible.
So,
it
like,
really wasn't great.
So, like, kind of worried that if Into the Spider-Verse didn't happen, like, because I Love Dogs is so different, maybe it would have gone to Incredibles 2. And, like, don't get me
What a
wrong, the
horrifying
animation is good in
Well,
that
it's just-
movie, but
it's
it's
a-
like...
It is a decent
It's a
movie.
nothing movie. It's
Exactly.
a nothing movie. Like, it's not saying anything
Yeah,
or, like...
it deserves recognition for animation, but not for being the best animated film.
Yeah.
It was well made.
Yeah. No, because I think Isle of Dogs is, like, less common kind of animation, and it's like a very, like, Wes Anderson,
Yeah.
like stop
Fantastic
motion, like
Mr.
Fantastic Fox. Whereas Spider-Verse, like, so, like, I feel like a lot of people expected Isle of Dogs to be as good as it was, and Spider-Verse was like,
That's a
look,
very
it's
good
this
point.
like kids movie, and
I
then
don't know. I was expecting a lot out of Spider-Verse. From
Really?
the,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
from the first
I
trailer,
literally
I was
was like-
incredibly excited.
I wasn't even planning on seeing it until everybody saw it and was like,
Really?
holy crap.
I mean,
And was like-
I was excited for it,
Yeah.
because I thought it looked like surprisingly good, which it was.
Yeah.
But then I saw it and I was like, that was like such a great movie.
I've just, like, never been, like, the Marvel person.
Yeah,
Like, I'll
certainly
go
not.
and
Well, Sony,
see...
so...
I'll see, like,
Toddlers.
like, when I was younger, like, before I was a movie person, I was,
Yeah.
like, Iron Man. And then,
Boo!
I, like, after, like, the first Avengers, I was, like, over it. And
Right.
then,
That makes me so happy to hear. You don't
well,
even
now
know.
I'm
Shut up.
I'm watching
No, shut
all
up.
of them.
All of them.
I'm trying to.
Could not have said a more triggering thing. In fact, I'm starting to get into them. Decided to watch every one.
But yeah. I don't know. I don't remember where I was going with that.
Phil
So
Lord,
I wasn't really planning on seeing it because I've never been like that person. But then
I feel like Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they are filmmakers that tend to, like, follow a structure and formula in a way, but they do it in such a way that's like, to me, it's more interesting and I don't know. It's got more heart than like a Marvel movie. Like Into the Spider-Verse is just your typical like kid becomes hero story. Lego Movie is. The guy is the chosen one and he figures out how to be that, and like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is just so
I
like
loved Cloudy with
it's so good, right? It's so like their movies are very like you feel like you've seen them already, but there's just something different about them.
Yes, that's a really good because like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is like such like a basic story plot.
Yeah,
but like it's done so well. Like each of the characters you're like invested in, and like you love everyone a little bit even if they're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And like just like the way like it's so wacky for a lack of like a better
I want to
word.
say all the examples you described are films that have like the skeleton of their plot is very like
structure,
common, or like basic, but then like what the characters and like the setting and the universe, I guess, is very unique. And like unique, like I mean, because Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is based off the book, but like you know what I mean, like
which is a great book, by the
it
way.
is
If you haven't read it, it's so good.
Very little to do with the movie, except that food falls from the sky. But like, they can get away with having a really basic plot by having the plot revolve around food falling from the sky, or they can get away with it by having the plot revolve around like your hero becoming friends with like Unicorn Kitty and Batman, and what was the other example?
To me,
it was like Spider-Verse, and like it's
what's
like
so
all these different
fascinating
Spider-Men.
to me about that movie too is the animation doesn't feel gimmicky.
No,
like a lot of movies, I don't know, like the animation feels like it's just there to be there. Like if you've seen this, is like completely unrelated, but Love, Death, and Robots, it's a bunch of animated
style
shorts,
is that?
just any, but
Like,
it's like a
it's
bunch of
okay.
different directors.
Yeah, okay.
But like a lot of them just kind of feel like, well, okay, why is this animated?
Like you can
But
appreciate
Spider-Verse-
the animation separately from serving the like when you watch Spider-Verse, you're I don't want to say distracted, but you're like
the animation
aware
serves
of
a
how
purpose.
yeah.
I don't know what point I was trying to make there actually.
That it's like not that it's like doing something for the movie that's in addition to just like being there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Wow. Thank you guys. I'm shocked at how well that went.
Yeah.
We're
now.
We didn't really talk about a person.
Jesus.
22 minutes in. We didn't
So,
talk about what?
We didn't really talk about a person, but
we talked about Greta Gerwig for
What a great discussion about Greta Gerwig that was. The Lego Movie.
This
Cloudy with a Chance of
No, this
Meatballs.
happens a lot. I think people get used to it.
Yeah.
All right.
With
it's
me
a
and
good thing you
Brian.
only did 5 topics.
Yeah.
So let's go jingle new releases. Go now.
No.
New releases, new releases, new releases. They're out today, or tomorrow, or next week, or maybe they're already out. Who's to say?
Okay.
Toy Story 4.
Mine was the.
Oh, speaking of animation, actually.
Yeah,
God,
this
that would have
works
been a great
well.
segue.
Yes.
Why am I dumb?
You were dropped as a child.
Yes.
Okay.
And as an adult,
Yeah.
which I am not yet.
Many times in the past.
Oh my gosh, we're both
30
17.
days.
I'm older than you though, so. Good lord, you're really struggling with that. Mason
Why is that
jar,
on the floor?
Toy Story 4. I've been
Okay,
hearing-
so here's my take. This is gonna sound like it's off topic, but then I'll loop around.
Yeah.
So I really like this TV show called The Good Place.
Yes.
On NBC.
Yes.
The 4th season, they finished the 3rd season, and the 4th season is coming soon. And they recently released a statement that was like, after the 4th season, like our 4th season is going to be the last season.
Yes.
Because this is
Yes,
a
I
really,
saw this.
we liked the show, and
Don't
we don't want to
burn and fizzle.
burn
yeah.
and fizzle like other shows that just
Yes.
keep going for too long. And at first I was like, actually no. I read that and I was like, that sucks because I love this show, but I also really appreciate that because I don't want to
Yeah.
start hating the show.
Yes.
I feel like maybe Toy Story should have been like, hey, it's a really good idea that when the original owner goes to college, we have this heartwarming like finale,
Ending.
and then
everything,
it's
like the sort of
That's
heart
the-
and soul
yeah.
of it ties up. But I've been hearing a lot about how this Toy Story 4, because the reviews are already out and it's
Yeah.
getting really high praise.
But the only reason that I'm not like really super worried about Toy Story 4 being like a drag on of this story is like even I want to say even the worst Pixar movies are arguably good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well made.
Well made for
Yeah.
sure. But then they haven't I have faith in their output because they're one of the companies that I have seen that I think in certain series has made very good sequels. And
Wait, I'm sorry. I just forgot to pay attention to you.
and like, more I'm not going to talk about Cars 2.
Okay.
But like I think I have faith in the company that they can make another good movie with these characters, and I won't be disappointed by it because they're like a company that I have a very high expectation of.
Yeah. I don't know. For a long time I was on the fence about this because Toy Story Pixar makes like good movies at
Generally.
the very least.
Their worst
They make
movies
good
are their sequels.
Yes.
So that is something to be aware of.
But I don't know. I've been hearing a lot about how this does kind of have a similar like finality to Toy Story 3,
Here's my thing.
which is I'm interested because there was definitely like an end at Toy Story 3.
Certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I'm like, I feel like each time a new Toy Story comes out, people are like, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then each time it goes surprisingly well, and so they're just like,
Well, that's only
maybe,
happened 3 times so far.
Yeah, but like, maybe they're like, maybe this one will go surprisingly well too, and
Like
they
testing
just
the
need to
waters.
like quit while they're ahead. Like, and I hope that's not. I
no,
know
because
this
now
sounds-
they have to make 5. Because if they stop it at 4, that's going to be so annoying to me.
Because of the
3 is
number
a good
4.
number. 5 is a
Here we
good
go.
number. 6 is even a good number.
Why? I don't see that. I think 6 is a
Because that's 2 3s.
Oh, I see. So it's like a
Star Wars was
Yeah,
at 6 for a long time too, so that's probably what I'm thinking. But if it stops at 4, ooh, Bob Iger, you better watch out.
Bob, are you gonna assault the CEO of Disney?
Yes.
But I don't want them to make a 5. Okay, I feel like the only reason why Toy Story 4 is at all redeemable is because it's a new situation. Like, they're going to the school, right? And that has not been traveled at all.
What school? Carnival.
Oh, no,
Toy Story 4 is at a carnival.
What?
What are you
I thought I
talking about?
saw a trailer where they come home and she's like, Woody's like,
All of Toy Story 3 was in a school. Is that what you're talking about?
no, Toy Story 3 is in a nursery.
That basically.
It's like a preschool.
Yeah.
It's a preschool.
But I thought, am I okay?
It's everywhere.
I
Everything about Toy Story 4 is carnival. Look at the poster. There's the big wheel in the back. Oh, the big wheel.
I don't know why you delivered what you said like that, but
What? The big wheel?
the big wheel.
Oh, the big wheel. Look at the big wheel. Look at the big wheel.
Okay, but I saw a trailer where the opening thing was like Woody, like she goes in and like takes Woody out of her backpack and it's like,
Yeah, oh, no,
and
that's
then
the
all
start
them
of the
are like-
movie.
okay, yeah, okay, so that's
But
really,
that's not the whole set.
okay, that's really
What are
like
you talking about?
I haven't looked into Toy Story 4 at all, so I saw that like first little part and I was like, okay, they go to a school.
God damn
They're
it.
treading new ground, guys. They're
The
going to
animation
school.
is gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not, like...
They could make the worst
I-
plot imaginable, and I'd still see it because of how pretty their movies
Right.
are. Yeah.
I do think it is time for Pixar to start making more creative decisions as far as how their
As far
movies
as what movies
look.
they produce. Oh, and I
Yeah.
see.
Especially
Like
now
more
that
stylistic variety.
I really generally think Into the Spider-Verse is going to change how animated
Yes, and I'm
movies are. in the
very
future.
for that.
Yeah.
Because it's turning into this thing. Into Spider-Verse made it so that animated movies were for everyone. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like Wes
like-
Anderson's
yeah.
Isle of Dogs. Not to go back to this, is also for everyone. Like I
No.
fully believe.
Not for kids.
Well, okay, so let me rephrase.
It's for like
It's showing
West,
that animated films are not just for kids.
Oh yeah.
So Wes Anderson's film did that, but it wasn't so widespread because I just feel like it was a Wes Anderson movie, so it's not
artsier
like,
film than
it's an
Into the
artsier,
Spider-Verse.
like it's not like
For
a
sure.
mainstream film.
Certainly.
Yeah.
That Into the Spider-Verse was a mainstream film that was able to be like, hey,
Yes.
not kids can enjoy this, but also like
Yes.
adults can enjoy this and like not feel bad about it.
And that's also something that Pixar is good at.
Yeah.
They're good at making animated films that are like the easiest, like completely safe for kids.
Yeah.
But then they're like
That still
very
mean
moving.
something to
Yeah,
the
they're very meaningful to
adults,
adults.
yeah.
Like Finding Nemo or
Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story.
Yeah. Which is fascinating.
Yeah.
Give any other animated
It's a movie about
studio,
a child's toys.
Give any other animated movie
Yeah.
studios the premise of a kid's toys come to life when they're gone, and it's not going to be that at all.
No, yeah.
So kudos to Pixar, I guess. Which I don't know
I
why
guess.
people don't do it more often. Give them kudos. Anyway, let's talk about Child's Play real quick. We don't have to go really deep in depth about this one.
I have
'cause
not
don't
seen
really
the trailer,
care.
but I know.
I don't even know.
Mark Hamill is Chucky, and I'm
Oh,
down for that.
Yeah.
That thing.
Frankly, that would be the one reason I would watch this movie.
Yeah, me too.
I doubt I'm going to, but I
Yeah,
would watch
also
it
me
just
too.
for Mark Hamill.
I would only see it if like it's one of those. No, I don't even know if I would.
Okay.
Well, I would, but I don't know when this situation would arise. So
Right.
therefore, I wouldn't.
You got your
Yeah.
thoughts figured out. Shut up. Let's move on to movie news then. There's one in here that I'm very excited about, and one that I'm just like, really? So we'll get to it.
How many are there total?
2.
Two.
So let's go movie news. Go jingle.
Bop, bop.
Mine was louder on the little feed there, so we're gonna have to use mine.
Movie news now, yeah. Trump.
What?
Donald.
Trump.
Trump,
What
comma,
did he-
Donald.
What did you
I
do?
don't- what-
I don't remember.
The West Hollywood Council is voting
Yes.
to take his star away on the Walk of
Remove
Fame.
his star from the Hall of
yeah.
Fame, and then
And
Mark
there's been
Hamill
a big-
goes on Twitter.
yeah,
He's
there's
like,
been a big push
star
to
for
get it
Carrie,
replaced.
star for Carrie Fisher, because Carrie Fisher does not have a
Makes me so
star.
happy. It was huge. It was trending on Twitter this
Yeah,
morning,
yeah.
and it made me just so happy to see.
His tweet was only like, it just said good riddance, and then like hashtag star for Carrie. It was
I love Marky. You know what? Mark Hamill? Really, I don't know where I was going with that.
You know what?
A lot of times I just need to fill this silence.
Yeah.
I think for my 18th birthday, which is coming up, I'm still a little baby.
I certainly won't be getting you anything.
God, I was 16 when I started M3 Movies with Brian. That's
Embarrassing.
bizarre.
Little kid.
I was a little baby boy. And now I'm older and wiser. It's like a year ago.
Not
I'm gonna
true.
ask Mark Hamill to be a guest on M3 Movies for my birthday. Let's get that started. Everyone, please.
My birthday wish.
My birthday
Mr. Hamill.
wish.
Mr. Hamill, my birthday wish is for you to come to my
Santa, for my birthday this
Townhouse.
year.
and just record in my basement.
Well, no, he could call me from.
We could do a phone interview.
Yeah. This next bit is kind of obnoxious. Marvel is re-releasing Endgame to theaters with unseen footage. Let me say this
next bit is
again.
kind of obnoxious.
Let me clear this up for you. Marvel Studios is re-releasing a movie that is currently still in theaters.
Correct.
So that they can get that extra push to make more money.
So they can
than
pass Avatar.
Avatars.
Correct.
Just die.
Oh, that's
Just-
got to be the most
It's
like
so
frustrating thing
obnoxious
to you.
me. It's so like, would you get over yourself? Stop sucking your own male genitalia, and like accept that your movie isn't gonna make more than James Cameron's Avatar. Get over it.
The thing is, it's like those. Have you seen those things where it's like, this I don't know who this person went out to like interviewing people on the streets and was like, name a character from Avatar, Nobody could name a single character.
I did see
Yes,
that.
I
Actually.
saw
Yeah.
that. No, it's so,
Nobody knows anything about
it's
Avatar.
so,
Everyone
like,
forgot about Avatar.
That's the funniest thing.
Highest grossing movie of all time.
made
This
so
movie,
much money.
no other film has made as much money as this movie, and everybody
I know
forgot
nothing
about it.
that movie.
No.
I remember that movie, like, when it was out, and I was, like, a little kid, and people would be like, Avatar, and I would be like, all I knew was that movie was, like, what, like, 4 hours long, and I was like, what?
I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't refer to that movie as the Blue People movie.
Yeah, it's like
Or-
Avatar Last Airbender or Avatar the Blue People.
Yeah.
It's always a distinction.
It's just, it bothers me. It's like, get over yourself. I've
Grunting with rage.
I just gotta, like, I'm, like, formulating words as they're coming to my...
Yeah.
It's like...
cartoon character. You're like Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
I went to the store.
What was I gonna say? There was something I was gonna say.
So you're talking about...
Endgame was a perfectly fine movie.
Yes,
I
you
enjoyed
enjoyed
it,
it.
but as time passed, I'm realizing it's just completely forgettable. It tied things up.
God.
But and like it was satisfying, but
Yes.
like it didn't mean I don't care.
Mm-hmm. The reason the noise has stopped is because he's buried his face in his hands. He's weeping now.
Next topic.
Let's move on
Yeah.
to new trailers.
So we did not watch any of these trailers before the show.
Did you not? It's one, so
Which one is it?
we'll get there. Good
Well,
job.
can we, like, take a pause and so that we can
Yeah.
watch it and then come back?
No.
We'll talk.
Wait.
about it.
There we go.
New trailers. Dr. Sleep.
No. Let's...
What?
Don't pause it.
Beep.
My little turn on the catwalk.
I'm not like... I don't know.
Would
I'm
you
not-
stop? I haven't even hit record yet.
It's recording
We're going-
right now.
Oh my flippin'
What do you
God.
mean you haven't even hit record yet?
Well, you were talking before.
No,
I
I
hit
was
record.
not.
You simply were. So, we watched the trailer for Doctor Sleep. I defeated a gym guy in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Mm.
I'm currently talking to him. So
Put the
Eric,
switch down.
I will
Why'd
not.
you start the podcast? Why'd you resume the recording if you weren't ready to...
Start the podcast in general. Just not, like, recording this.
Why do you
Hold on.
continue with this
Hold on.
chore every week?
Well, I haven't for the past, 3 weeks. Because of graduation.
Wah. Okay,
So
let's talk about Dr. Sleep.
Eric, you were getting pumped for this.
I
Like a loser. This is for those of you that don't know, this is the Shining sequel. The sequel to The Shining.
think
that
it's
they're making.
exciting. I mean, it's not like, Star Wars hype, obviously.
Thank you.
But, thank you. But,
This-
I don't
this
know,
is why I invited
it
you
looks
on, actually.
interesting to me. It looks exciting
It just
to me.
looks like run of the mill. I guess it's.
Like, I don't know what about it doesn't seem... I will say the most interesting thing about it is that it's a Shining sequel.
Yes. I think the problem is, I guess I'm expecting, a director who's up to snuff against...
Who's directing?
I don't know. Against Kubrick.
Oh, you're expecting a similar masterpiece.
Yeah, which
And
I guess...
I
don't know.
understand that.
It's just profiting off of someone else's work that's much better than yours, which I guess a lot of people do now.
I
but
guess
it's
that's
still
true. When I was watching it, I wasn't even like, this is going to be the next Shining. I was just like, this is going to be a movie that's in the same universe as The Shining. And
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now. Where
Mike
it's-
Flanagan.
It's does not appear... They're not advertising it in a way that makes it seem anything like the original movie.
No. Well, except for all this stuff.
Except for this, content. But, the style is seemingly very different.
It's just, I don't know. I probably won't watch it. I don't really
I
have
might- I
any...
think I might watch
I don't
it.
really have any, clear, concise thoughts on it, I guess. Other than it just looks run-of-the-mill, and I was hoping more from the Shining sequel.
Uh-huh.
That'd be like, I don't know.
I appreciate
That'd
that
be
you
like
didn't
making
tell me
a
what that
sequel-
movie was until I saw the trailer.
That would be like making a sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey and it just turning out like the recent Star Trek movies. Like, it doesn't.
I see what you
it
mean.
doesn't
Yeah,
fit
it is.
for you,
That's
right?
exactly what it is.
Yeah,
It's like exciting because I love the recent Star Trek movies.
sure.
But I see what you mean where you want a film that's like The Shining is artsy.
Right.
It's like slow, it's quiet, it's creepy. And that movie
It's
does
not a movie that would succeed today.
It's certainly not.
Yeah.
It's like a movie that would succeed in like
When it
on like
did
Netflix or
succeed.
something.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
on a platform that would not.
Yeah, the only way The Shining would succeed today is if it came out on Netflix, actually.
Yeah, or like
honestly.
a platform where it could not be shown in theaters
Yeah. Especially because,
because no one wants to see that in theaters.
well, and auteurs are leaving. It's like the idea of a director with a vision like that. We got Tarantino, we got...
I'd say
I don't know.
Christopher Nolan.
Sure. The Millers. I don't even want to say the Russo brothers because no.
The Coen Brothers still make films? How often do they still make films?
Kinda. I think they're making a Lebowski sequel. Lauren, what are your thoughts on Doctor Sleep?
The best part about the trailer was the music.
Ayo! That's what I'm talking about.
Music was incredible.
The music was really, really good.
Especially
Also,
at the
I
end,
feel like,
the original.
I feel like,
Yeah.
not to be, like, too, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not a very harsh person unless I really don't like something, so this might be too nice. But I feel like it's an interesting concept for a movie. I think it's really unnecessary.
Yes.
I feel like
No, yeah.
Well, it's
if
based off of the weird thing.
it's like, if you're going to make a sequel for The Shining,
Yeah.
then it has to be, like, as good as The Shining,
That's what Jack's
if
saying.
not
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's saying.
better, and that's a hard thing to do.
Did you hear the comparison you made earlier where you said it's like making a sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I kind of agree with that.
The weird thing, too, is that it is actually based off of a book. So Stephen
Yeah.
King actually wrote the
Yeah.
sequel, and it is Doctor
It's like how there are sequels to 2001
Yeah.
in book
Are there
form.
really?
Yeah, there are.
Oh, I didn't know that. 2002?
It's
A
like
Space Adventure?
a space adventure. They changed only one word.
And also the year.
Shut up. And-
Die! So, was 2002 a year? It doesn't... I don't know. There's just something about the
I'd say
letters
almost-
2002 that don't seem like... I don't think they should be a year.
Almost without question. Yes, it was.
Um,
It's an interesting question you just posed there. Is 2002 a year?
it just looks wrong. Anyway.
You just typed out. He typed out 2002 on his laptop, and then observed that it looked incorrect, and then deleted it.
Do we want to move on to movies that we've watched? I've
Yes.
watched so many.
Oh,
like recently or just like
In the
general?
last week.
In the last week.
Well, I mean, that's for me, but I guess you guys can say a movie.
Did you see
just in
Booksmart?
general.
I
No.
want to see it so badly.
Me too.
Here's a this I haven't seen this in the last week, but it's a movie I've been thinking a lot about recently.
you would very much enjoy it.
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, are you gonna?
You saw that
Do you want to talk about
last
that
week?
for movies that we've watched?
Yes.
Cool. Then let's move on.
Did you see that in the last week?
Would you just shut up and die, please?
I saw it.
Oh my God, he did it! The madman did it.
Well, no, I ignored you and then
Okay.
waited for Lauren to answer.
Okay.
The last time I watched this was when we saw it in theaters, but I've just been thinking about it a lot
Okay.
recently.
So yeah, let's go jingles. Go watch movies. Movies that we've watched. Did you see me tremble beforehand to get
He
the
waited.
clap before?
He held his hands in position and waited for me to clap so he could clap immediately
This is
after.
also, by the way, the only time the clap is ever heard in the podcast is whenever you're on. Because you always make a big deal out of it. Everyone else just accepts it. You're the only one who's ever like, oh, I gotta clap.
Oh, because it only happens once and you can edit the thing in.
Yes.
So every other time it's like, I want to do the clap.
I have to
stuff.
keep the clap in. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense to anyone what we're talking about. So, go for it, Lauren.
I want to watch that movie a second time because if you haven't seen it, there's so much to absorb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Oh.
one of those movies where you have to watch it twice.
We
because
should.
It's like
We should see it because when I saw it with you, I believe was my second. Yeah, it was my second time, and it was so enjoyable on the second watch, like almost as enjoyable. As the first
I wouldn't
time.
mind watching it again. I was vaguely confused the first time around.
No, the first time I thought I was like, this is like bizarre, but it's not like incomprehensible.
Yeah.
And then I watched it the second time, and I'm like, it's not that I notice all these details, but it's like, I don't know, I just appreciate things that I did not appreciate in the first time.
It's like the first time because the first time you watch it, you literally have no idea how it's gonna end.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
not from the point of view where you're lost the whole time.
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
It's such a plot twist where you're like,
What the
what
hell?
Yeah.
what? And like, cause it's not anything that's even close to pointed towards in like trailers or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Or like any media that currently exists.
yes,
And
or like
it's-
even like in the movie,
Yeah.
like until it happens, you're like,
whoa!
what?
And it's not the kind of plot twist that's like, we're allowed to...
Don't
No,
spoil it.
No, I said spoiler warning maybe in the beginning.
There's
It's been out
spoilers.
for a
Every
while.
episode of this podcast has horrible spoilers in it.
Spoiler warning for sorry to bother you right now, but also it's been out for a really
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah,
so,
and
like,
this is, if you're listening to this podcast, it's... You've surely been accustomed to this.
Speak, wench!
But,
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. But, like, the twist in this movie is not like you say plot twist, it's not the kind of twist that's like, oh, it was her all along.
Yeah.
It's
not
like...
the, it's not the
there's-
no,
it's
I'm your
it's
father.
literally
not-
impossible to predict.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily even like a plot twist.
It's just the nonsense
just-
turn of...
It's-
with
Yeah, but
the-
the bizarre thing about it is it like makes sense in the
Yeah, it
moment.
plays
you're
into the
like,
film.
hey, what? But it doesn't like it feels deserved somehow.
Yeah, I say nonsense turn, but I mean it plays in with the movie,
Yes.
and it's not like just it's not nonsense in that's like the literal meaning of the word. You can go.
The point of what I was trying to say is that you need to watch it twice because you're so caught off guard by it, the movie the first time, that I feel like the second time, with knowing how it ends. Sorry, I have the hiccups.
Yeah.
Beep.
Beep.
With knowing how it ends, I feel like it would be easier to like watch and like
Yeah.
notice things. I mean, and like I feel like that's like obviously in every movie, you know how it ends, and then you can go back and be like, oh my gosh, this, and this.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just more so with this because of how abrupt and like bizarre
Yeah.
the ending is.
It's also I know I already suggested like we watch it again, and we've already both seen it, but like it's a very enjoyable movie to see a second time when you're with someone who's never seen it before.
Yeah,
I very much enjoy it because the second time I saw it, it was with Lauren.
and it was my first time.
And I just I hope I didn't like ruin moments by like looking over right before, but there's so many moments where I would like get to like look over and see her reaction at the just I say nonsense again. The things happening on screen, and when the twist happens, it's just such a satisfying thing because it was so bewildering the first time you saw it.
Yeah.
To watch that shock appear on somebody else's face.
It's It was. I mean, it's horrifying.
It is.
Really, and that very last
It's
shot
horrifying.
too, just before the credits roll.
He's like
Oh my
halfway
God.
between.
I was legit. I mean, I don't like. I don't watch horror movies, so
Yeah.
I'm not used to it. But that was the first movie that I've ever been like, make it stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Jesus.
I was going to talk about that movie earlier because, Lauren, you were saying how you kind of wish Isle of Dogs won, even just because you feel like as such a more unique film that it deserved the recognition. That's exactly like the same argument Brian has why he thought that Sorry to Bother You should have won Oscars. Is that he
Yeah.
thinks that even if you don't think it's if it's like a brilliant film,
I
it
feel
like
like-
it's very unique and it's very
Well, not even like
New?
that. Not even like because like obviously like unique films can be terrible and
Yeah.
like what the hell.
Yeah.
But like that type of movie, like Sorry to Bother You, was unique, but also like a game changer.
Yes,
you know
it's
what
new.
I mean?
It's
like
in-
it's not.
it's
It wasn't
adding-
like
yeah.
because like I feel like unique can't be like the standard for like.
Yes, obviously. Because obviously you want a movie. In the big scheme of things, you want Best Picture to go to a movie that is the best film of the year. What?
Sorry.
What drivel are you spouting out?
I don't know. Keep going. No, this is good stuff. You were actually like talking about movies.
Dumb exclamation.
I watched movies.
What'd you watch?
I made a list because I watched like a lot. This is a lot
Far more than either of us.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna go through rapid fire. I'm not gonna discuss any one too longly.
For too long.
For too longly. I watched Dope with Shameik Moore, who was in so good.
Okay, so I watched movies, but they were like dumb movies. Like I watched Ratatouille and Tangled.
Yeah.
And
Ratatouille is a great film.
I think I watched something else at some point. But those are the two that I can think of, so.
Yeah. What context did you watch this film?
I didn't. I wasn't in the room when it started, and then.
Oh, is this it?
This
was
was
at
a
Lake Week.
Yeah.
Lauren
I
and
watched
I
Pulp
participated
Fiction.
in Lake Week. Which
I was invited to that, and then I just never.
You would have had a great time. We would have loved to.
I just never went.
Anyway, I watched Dope. Incredible movie. So good. Shameik Moore is just genuinely lovable in everything he does. He was also Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. I also watched THX 1138, which was...
I also watched The Greatest Showman.
Oh, boo.
He
I
really
genuinely
doesn't
don't like
The Greatest Showman.
But THX 1138 was George Lucas's, I think, first feature film. And it is a trip. Like, it's crazy. It's so weird, but I loved it a lot. Also very clear that this man did not want to make big blockbusters. He was more of an indie guy from the start. Yeah. I watched Shazam last night, which was
it the first time?
Incredible. That I watched Shazam. It's so good.
It is. The thing is, for me, it was one of those movies where I could really predict more or less every turn the plot took, but I still enjoyed it to a very
There is
high
one
degree.
that I didn't see coming. And spoilers for Shazam. Have you seen Shazam yet, Lauren?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Do you care?
Not really.
At the end, when everyone else turned into... I didn't see that coming.
You know what I thought would happen? And I don't want to... I feel bad saying this, but you know what I thought would have been much funnier?
What?
Is if they all became the same... If they all became Zach...
Zach Levi!
If they all became Zach Levi.
Oh my god! It was just 7 Zach Levis!
Instead of like a new person for each... Like
That
if the Shazam
amazing.
power always turns you into a Zach Levi no matter who you are.
I can picture that perfectly, and I love
It'd be hilarious!
Except the only problem would be Zach Levi would also have to be the wizard at the beginning.
Damn it.
Yeah. I watched Captain Marvel. I didn't like it, clearly. I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I would. I think
not as much as like me or not as much as Brian.
No, I think it's a perfectly well-made movie. I think it lacks really anything to make it interesting or unique or really give it any kind of drive. I like Brie Larson, and actually this next movie had her in it. But she just was flat. She had no really any
I thought you were going to say, I thought you said you liked her in the movie, and I was like...
No, I like Brie Larson. I don't like her in Captain Marvel.
See,
she's got no character.
My main issue, I haven't seen Captain Marvel, but my main issue with it is that people see it and they're like, Brie Larson sucks. And I'm like...
She doesn't.
What?
She doesn't.
She's a great actress.
Like, I feel like it's unfair to be like...
She
limit her to Captain Marvel.
She cannot... There's just something about her that she can't do that typical, like, Marvel charisma. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a
no, yeah, it's just not... I would assume...
She just can't pull it off.
I don't want to be like, this movie... I don't know. I don't want to say, like, this movie doesn't represent so-and-so as an actor because it is a movie that they did and acted in. Yeah. But I also totally understand the, like, Captain Marvel is clearly not the same wheelhouse as when she's in, like... His, like, Room is, like, Brian's favorite movie of, what 2015?
Yeah.
And he despises Captain Marvel because her character is just so, like, to a humorous degree, unlikable.
Yeah. Well, okay, what was weird to me was I never had a moment of, like, I don't like her. It was just that I genuinely felt nothing about her.
Correct. Correct.
I was never outwardly like, oh, she's so annoying or, like, mean or something.
Okay.
I was just like,
I want to say,
like, she doesn't have anything.
through the entire film, there was, everything she did, I either felt that was, like, whatever, or that was annoying.
Yeah.
I never felt like,
Oh
my God,
like,
can
a
I?
hero.
What line? Brian says it's one of the worst lines he's ever heard in a film.
So you come from a race of noble warriors? Noble warrior heroes.
She says, unsatisfied with being described as a noble warrior. She says, I'm sorry, no, we're noble warrior heroes. What?
That's obnoxious. I also watched with Brie Larson Room, which was very good.
Yeah,
She's
sorry.
incredible in it.
I read the book. I haven't
was
watched
it?
the movie.
How was the book?
So the book,
I liked the way you said
The
that. I'm
book?
sorry.
Book?
The book?
the book. I don't know how the movie is, but the book is from the child's perspective.
Oh. Yeah. The nerd. Yeah. Yes.
And
Yes.
that
No. Yes. The movie definitely is. Yes.
made the book extremely frustrating.
Really? God damn it!
At some points. Well, the book is also very long.
Spam Arlen. Sorry, that's what the phone says. The book is long.
It's like pretty long. Like I think it's around like 500 pages.
Oof.
That could be just so wrong.
Which is funny because the movie, I felt like the movie didn't really have a very satisfying
Well, the
ending.
thing is, I feel like the book just moved kind of slowly, and then also like so spoiler alert for The Room, they get out of the room.
Sorry.
And she's like in the book, she's like in the hospital
Yeah.
for a really long time.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, and like the child is with her parents or whatever, and there's just like a long period of time where like it's just like weird because like she's in the hospital and the child's not with her.
Yeah.
But like it's still from the child's perspective, and it's just kind of like what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Why does it keep going?
That
Yeah,
happens.
like it kind of
That
it's,
happens in the movie, but it's like 10 minutes.
I feel like the point of it is to like show how like sheltered the child has been, you know what I mean? Because it's like look at like they go to a park and the child literally just doesn't know what to do with themselves.
Wow.
And it's like overstimulation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also like I don't know. It was just like extremely frustrating because things would be happening and the child would be like, this is okay, and it's like, no, it is not. But I feel like that was like on purpose because it's showing like this child has never lived anywhere except for the room with the kidnapper that kidnapped
Yes.
his mom.
Brie Larson.
Yeah, so like I feel like that's the point, but also I was just kind of like
Yeah. Well, the movie was good. I liked the movie. I
the
might
book
check
was
out
good.
The
It was
okay.
fine. I have it if you want to borrow it.
I might.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Wes Anderson. Very good. I enjoy it. A lot of other people don't, but I like it a lot. I watched the first half of Pacific Rim with a group of people. The
know that
only
movie
way to
for its
watch that
visual
movie.
effects.
The only way to watch that movie is with a group of people. If you watch Pacific Rim alone, see a
What are you
therapist.
Can I tell you? Can
Yeah.
I tell you when I watched it?
the first half of a movie on Netflix called 6 Years.
I haven't heard of it.
It's about like a couple and they've been together for 6 years,
Wow.
but they're both in like one is about to graduate college and one is going into like their senior year. So they're like
Of college.
Yeah.
Sorry.
and so they're like fairly young
Yeah.
and it's literally just their relationship falling apart.
Oh.
And it's
Ooh.
like
That
so
would be a hard
so
watch.
it's hard to watch, which is why I've only watched the first half.
Yeah.
Because like things happen. Like the girl I guess like
you would hope that in a movie.
I guess like trigger warning maybe? I don't know. The
Yeah.
girl almost gets or like this guy tries to like rape her and she's like super duper drunk and like they thought it was this guy that they could trust, and so the friend left to go back to the party and she was at her house and the guy is there like with her and he like tries to make moves and she's like unconscious and then when she like comes through she's like, oh my god, get away from me, what are you doing? And he gets mad and then leaves. But then the boyfriend, when she like talks to the boyfriend, the boyfriend gets like pissed because like she doesn't make it, it's like one of those moments where she doesn't make it clear that it was like assault.
Oh my god.
And so like he's pissed but she's like traumatized and it's like so I literally stopped in the middle of that scene
Yeah.
and I haven't started watching.
Cannot. Yeah.
Again, because, like, that is so hard to watch. Because I just want to be like, she was being assaulted. Like, please, like, just comfort her.
Yeah.
And he's, like, indirectly mad at her because, like, he feels like he can't accept a job because of her, but he hasn't talked to her about the job yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, like...
It's just, like, little things
like,
that... It's, like, communication
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That is, like, blowing up, and it's, like, it's hard to watch. But it's pretty good so far,
Yeah.
I would say.
Any familiar faces in the
No.
movie?
Or, like, not that I know of, but I'm also kind of, like... Sometimes I feel like I'm a fake movie kid because I just, like, don't know, like, names of people, you know what I mean?
I feel like that's a trademark of being interested in movies, is feeling like you're lying to everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Because I don't watch any movies.
Yeah, well, like, people...
Why are you standing?
Because I got up so I could sniffle and it wasn't so loud in the microphone.
People are like, hey, have you seen this movie? And I'm like, no. And they're like...
Hey, have you seen this movie that, like, if you enjoy movies, you should definitely see? It's like, no.
Because I just, like, don't watch a lot of movies. I love, like, making movies.
Yeah.
So fun. But I just, like...
Great.
And I like watching movies. And I, like, enjoy watching and analyzing and whatever. But I just, like, don't a lot. And
No,
I don't know.
So it's kind of a thing where, like, some people, even if they don't enjoy it that much more or less, some people feel just more or less motivated to go see a movie at randomly at some time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually feel the urge to go see a movie, and so most of the time when I do it, it's when, like, Brian or someone is like, hey, want to go see a movie right now because I'm not doing anything? And I'm like, yeah. So it's like and I enjoy it every time because I'm, like, seeing a movie, but, like, I don't, if I'm, like, not doing anything for a weekend, I don't immediately get the urge to go see a movie with someone.
The thing is, I have, like, a bunch of movies, like, on my list on Netflix or, like, on my list on Amazon Prime that I'm like, I want to watch this.
It's
And then,
stressful.
like, every time that I'm like, I have free time and I'm like, I could watch this, I'm like, no, like, not right now. And then I just
It's
never,
also,
like, it's like, I don't know.
It becomes the point where it's like, there's so much there that you don't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it's like, if there was, like, 2 movies on your list, you could go like, okay, I'll just watch this. But if there's, like, 1,000 things on your list, you don't even want to start it.
It's like, where do I start? And then,
Yeah.
like, sometimes you look through it and you're like, I don't really want to watch any of this.
Or it's like having a messy room
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you,
I
like,
feel that.
where it's like you don't want to start it even though, like...
Maybe I'll go home and finish 6 years and clean
Yeah.
the room at the same time.
Do it. Let's move on. Wait, you talked about movies you watched.
Yeah.
Cool. Then let's go to M3 suggestions.
File delivery of what you just said.
This
Do you
is
guys?
a long podcast.
Yeah.
But,
It's an hour.
you know.
Do you guys know?
No, but, like, I feel like we've been talking for longer than an hour.
Yeah. Do you guys know what this is? M3 suggestions, or what to do for it?
Refresh me.
You
I haven't.
suggest a piece of art.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Then let's go to M3 suggestions. Go jingle.
We're gonna make a suggestion for you today, and you better watch it or else.
Give it a second.
I don't have anything in mind yet, I think.
So I just like suggest.
Yeah, go for it. Do you have something?
Wait, like a movie that I
Yeah, like
wanna
a
make?
movie,
A
TV
song.
show,
I
book,
am-
song,
I am
podcast.
in the midst of, like, oh, is this supposed to be like a funny, like, fun little, like, beep, or like
Whatever you want.
I'm planning on starting to write a script for a movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
always
funny that I'm talking about 6 years because it's fairly similar to the plot of 6 years, but in a short film.
That's
type
such a
thing.
when you were describing 6 years, I was like, that's such
Well,
a
it's
thing
like-
you would write.
I really want to, like, make a movie with an unsatisfying ending.
Yeah.
So I want to try to portray a relationship in which, in the beginning, they're, like, super in love with each other, but then they both become really toxic for each other, but then,
Yeah.
despite that, the audience is still rooting for them.
Sure.
And so, like, when in the end they break up,
It's still sad.
while
even.
it should be, like, yes, that's exactly what you should do,
Yeah.
everybody is still, like, no, I don't want that.
Why didn't you make it work? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which,
It's,
like,
yeah.
so that's, and I feel like that would be really fun. I'm also, like, not a very good screenwriter, so I feel like it would be very fun to just, like, try and do that, even if
Yeah.
I don't end up,
Challenge
like, making
yourself,
the
yeah.
film.
Screenwriting
Just writing
is
the
No, that's something
horrible.
Brian does all the time, and I don't know if you do, but like Brian, he asked me to like, he's like, we should write stuff together, and I was like, oh, like, do you write often? He's like, yeah, and he just like pulls up his like script. He has multiple different script writing applications because he has a free trial of each of them, and it limits how many you can write.
Oh, I have a workaround for that, but whatever.
And he just like, he doesn't shoot any of these. He just like likes to write screenplays,
Yes.
See, like, I am just so...
which is what I think you're talking about.
Like, I'm so bad at, like, writing dialogue and, like,
Or
making
you hate
things,
what
like,
you write so much.
Yeah, so, like...
You don't have to, yeah.
I have, like, literally the film that we just did for IB Film where I won Best Screenplay.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only reason why I, like, did well is because, A, the movie had no dialogue. Like, it was, like, a narrated... Like, it was a narrative.
Oh, I see what you
So
mean.
it was just, like...
You didn't have to write an
voiceover
interaction
kind
between
of.
characters.
Yeah, and also a lot of it were just, like... It was a movie based off of personal experience.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was just, like, excerpts from my own
Yeah.
journal that I write in when I get
that's
stabbed.
Because you could say maybe you're
So
like...
it's like, so everybody that, like, people would, like, come up to me and be like, that was really realistic, and that was really, like, a good way of, like, describing how I feel sometimes, and it's really validating to, like,
Yeah.
hear that, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that means a lot, but it's also literally just because I go through this all the time, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what I've written.
Well, that's
like
For the Artist, which came out almost exactly a year ago. That's what that was.
Yeah.
That was legit, just like
'Cause
almost
sometimes
exactly
it's
one of my
just
days.
It's like, sometimes you're just like, I am going through this, and I want to make it pretty.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really anxious all the time, but let's make it pretty.
That's
Yeah.
why I listen to music when I'm sad.
Oh
These are all my scripts, by the way.
my god.
These are.
How did you have so many in your Celtics?
I have a workaround.
So you don't pay for it. Because why would you pay for something that you use all the time?
Because I'm poor. How much money do you think this podcast makes?
Don't you make like $40 a listen?
What are you talking about?
Kidding.
They make, like, $1
They
do
make
you
a
actually
cent
do
to
you have a
listen.
suggestion, or are you
They
just
make
talking
much.
about
They make less than a
Oh, that's like what well, my
Like, just
suggestion
write?
to myself is
Oh,
that
okay.
is to write the script.
Eric, do you have something?
No, I was distracted talking about the other thing
my
too.
God.
Not coming
Let me think.
yeah,
think.
let's both think. Jeff, you can-
I have something, yeah. I recently discovered a podcast that I enjoy, Max Fun Network, which, Eric, I know you're familiar with.
Yes, I know.
They have a lot of good stuff, actually.
I have not listened to much.
I
I've
have a
listened.
They
suggestion.
have a great one called Switchblade Sisters. They talk about movies, but this one that I want to suggest is called Can I Pet Your Dog? It's two women talking about their dogs and talking with guest speakers about their dogs, and that's it.
It's just a dog
It's
podcast.
so wonderful. It is. It's just such a great energy, and they're so fun to listen to. And check it out if you get the chance. If you've caught up with all of your M3 episodes, go check that out.
Certainly
Okay.
Yeah.
So
not. Sounded like you had
There's-
something ready.
there's a podcast that is okay.
Is it called
sorry.
M3 Movies?
No.
Do you listen to M3 Movies?
Yes.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Don't lie to me. I can read.
I mean, I'm not like super like. I guess I don't watch it. I listen to it sometimes. Hey. Okay, so a podcast. It's on Spotify. If you have Spotify, that's where I listen to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's on anything
Probably.
else.
Most
But-
podcasts are on like everything.
The
Are you sitting on my Nintendo Switch?
it's about a therapist who it's fictional.
Okay.
It's about a therapist who provides therapy for people with like superpowers, or it's like it's therapy for the strange
it's
and
like a
unusual.
serialized,
Yeah,
like a
and it's like
episodic
all of the things are like recordings. So it's like either like
Okay.
recordings of her like talking about patients, or like her like sessions with patients, or patients outside of sessions on like the phone or something like that.
What's it called?
Like it's the Bright Sessions.
Right.
Right.
It's so I haven't even finished it yet.
Right.
I'll be honest. because I'm like finishing season 3 right now, and then season 4 like just came out. So, yeah.
Great.
But it's just like so good. Like, I'm not really a podcast person, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But
Great, glad you're here.
I just have a lot to say. But the Bright Session is really good, and I suggest that.
Eric, have you found something you went?
Am I allowed to suggest something that I think is, like, the value you would get from it is in how bad it is?
You're allowed to suggest anything except, like, crimes.
Please
don't suggest crimes.
I think it would be funny if, like, you suggested, like, a porn video.
Oh my god, no!
So I was on Pornhub the other day.
I was on Pornhub for, like, 3 hours the other day. Okay, now.
Anyway, yes, please. 3 hours?
Oh my god.
No!
I'm sorry.
Why that joke take so long to hit you?
I don't know. It's just
I was like, nobody
It was
laughed
a
at that. I guess it
brutally
wasn't
long
funny.
time.
And then you waited like 10 seconds and laughed.
Because-
Okay.
just
So
seems like
it's
something
out
you
of
would do.
theaters. And I don't really know what the future of it is.
You're gonna suggest Hellboy?
Yeah. It's so bad.
Thank you.
The worst thing I've ever seen. Did you see it?
No. Oh, I want to so bad. Did you listen to the episode with Dylan? Because he
No.
ranted and raved about
Oh,
how
I
awful
wish
it
I was there.
And it
I
only
wish I was
made me
there.
want to watch it more.
Wait, maybe I'll talk about. I saw the new Godzilla. Which is
Oh my
not,
god.
It's
Zilla.
Zilla. Where did you see it?
No, I'm familiar with that thing though.
Oh my god. So, not as bad as Hellboy, because Hellboy is a mountain that you could not just go over like that. But it's pretty bad. It's pretty terrible. And I never saw the 2000 14. The one before.
Further away than that.
Really.
Yeah.
Lawrence recording me without my consent.
Chatting.
It's just indescribable.
It's kind of too bad. I was hoping for that movie to be good, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Wonder
It was
why they
this thing
didn't a good
where
Godzilla
I was like, it looks very good visually. It does. It's CGI is beautiful.
Yeah.
Easily the best part of the movie. And I Millie Bobby Brown. She's a good.
Call her Millie Baby Brown.
Bobby.
Sorry, go on.
She's a good child actress. She'll probably be an enjoyable part of the movie. I mean,
they definitely just used her because it's Millie Bobby Brown.
yeah, no, for sure, because she's not enjoyable. I mean, all the characters are terrible.
Yeah.
And she's like equally bad. Christ, there's so many lines, there's so many things that are just laugh out loud bad in that movie. We laughed so hard during the movie. There's shots where it's like filming Godzilla and it looks really menacing, and then they do like an Office-esque zoom in on his face.
I love that.
It's
Captain
like-
Marvel did that a lot too. Why are people doing that freaking?
in a movie
It's
where
not a good.
no context.
No.
Yeah.
The snap zooms.
Yeah.
There's been one example that I can think of off the top of my head where a snap zoom works, and that's in Life Aquatic. It's a zoom in on Jeff Goldblum.
Oh.
And yeah.
Yeah. But there's like moments. So they're fighting. So all the monsters of the world are unleashed and fighting on the planet. It's
Yeah.
causing devastation everywhere.
Figures.
It's like 17 or whatever is the number of them.
Wow.
And Godzilla and Mothra and Monster Zero. And Monster Zero is like at the center of this hurricane, and they're like flying around in planes and trying to kill it.
Yeah.
And that's roughly what's happening in the scene. I don't remember it well because it's a bad movie. So I probably gave some mildly incorrect information there. But anyway, they get a call from. Oh no, they're not fighting. They're just like there, and they get a call from like the military people who are like, "Hey, you need to evacuate this area now. We've been working on a weapon that we're going to use to eradicate this beast, the Oxygen Destroyer." The Oxygen Destroyer. What?
How does that work?
Well, I would presume that it destroys oxygen.
What do they not use it?
Well, this is the thing. I can't remember the outcome of that scene because I don't remember because the monster isn't killed. The monster
Oh.
continues to survive, and they continue to fight it. So I guess the oxygen destroyer was a failure.
They didn't even want to like give it like a fake scientific name.
Yeah.
Like the I don't know.
Anything but the oxygen destroyer. There's a scene near the end. There's a shot where Godzilla is like Godzilla's now fighting for the. This is a spoiler. Whatever. No, don't see. I mean, see this movie because of how bad it is, but don't care that I'm spoiling Godzilla, King of Monsters.
I like how you're talking to the phone as if you're talking to an audience.
But Godzilla is fighting for the humans against Monster Zero, this like Hydra thing that grows back its head when you cut it off.
Great.
And it finally dies, and then out of the rubble, its head sticks up, and you're like, what? And then it turns out that it's Godzilla with his head and neck in his mouth. And he peeks out and shakes it around like a toy.
What?
Cartoonish. It's bizarre. It's also, the physics of it on screen are nonsense.
Okay.
There's no explanation for how it could have gotten to that position.
Yeah.
Because the shot leading up to it is a shot of stationary rubble that they're under. So if he was like maneuvering to grab this head,
Then
there would have been any movement at all. And I'm really just latching on to specific silly moments in this movie, but the plot is bad. The acting is pretty bad. The characters are bad. The acting is funny.
Yeah.
I will say. The CGI is gorgeous. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's a bad movie. Okay. It has a 40% of Rotten Tomatoes is a disgusting
kindness.
It's a disgusting kindness, generosity.
Not to interrupt and be
You can go.
random.
Yeah.
I'm shaking right now because I had 2 shots of espresso, and I'm literally like, I don't know if I'm visibly shaking, but I can feel it in my soul. You know what I mean?
Your
Let's
soul.
end this.
Let's end me. Oh my god.
Can we end the podcast? Good lord.
If this podcast gets 1,000 listens, I'll kill myself on the
No!
next one.
Oh my god, Lauren, no, you cannot say that.
Just don't put it in.
What? I can't. What do you mean?
Lord.
Why would you say?
I meant
It
to
didn't
say.
take you 30 seconds to say. Just don't put that
I meant to say that you guys will kill me, and then I misspoke.
in. I'll kill myself.
I misspoke and said I would. I misspoke and promised to end my life.
Let's end the episode,
Bye.
please. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We use Instagram mostly, so
me
find
on
us there.
Instagram.
Shut up at M3 Movies on both. You can find us on letterboxd.com/M3Movies.
Please block at Lorbegill on Instagram.
Follow at Lorbegill. That's LAURBGILL on Instagram and Twitter.
And
And-
Ew Becker on Instagram.
That's Eric. That's E.W. Becker for
That's
my first Eric William.
It just works out that it's you.
Ew Becker.
What else? Support us on Anchor and all that shaz. Shaz. Tell us to your friends. I can never figure out a good way to say that.
Tell us to your friends.
Share this with your
Tell
friends.
us.
Tell us. No, I like tell us to your friends.
Tell us.
Tell us to your
Tell
friends.
us to your friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
God.
with the speakers.
I'm Jack.
I'm Eric.
Beep. I'm Lauren.
We love your stupid faces. Bye bye.